So, hello students, young boys and girls, you are welcome once again to my class, that is Komal Sharma's maths class. And together what we try to do in this class, we try to build up concepts and take maths step by step so that maths becomes easy. So, I am here for you to understand maths and to make it easy. Because remember one thing, I read it somewhere and even I am of the opinion that if concepts are clear, the doubts will disappear. Remember, if concepts are clear, exam fear will disappear. If concepts are clear, your doubts will disappear. And one word which was not very prevalent in our times, but I see you young boys and girls using it again and again, stress. So, if concepts are clear, your stress for maths will also disappear. I know many students are very afraid of maths. Why? Because maybe their concepts have not been cleared till date. So, let us sit together and try to clear those things which have not been clearly understood in the junior classes and let us make maths easy. So today this is a chapter. I will talk about real numbers. I will introduce real numbers to you, and this is a chapter which comes up in CBSE class 10th, and this happens to be the first chapter in the CBSE syllabus. So let us try to understand what the number system says. So numbers, if I go from the bottom to the top, so you have most of these numbers you have studied in your junior classes. You might be knowing about these also, but how they are related, I have tried to form a kind of a flow chart for this. Okay, so first of all, you know natural numbers. What are natural numbers? I will discuss these in details, but you have at least heard of natural numbers. Then natural numbers, then whole numbers, integers, rational numbers, irrational numbers, all this you have discussed in your junior classes. So if we combine all of these together, then they are called real numbers. Now if there is a real number, so there should be an unreal number also. Yes, so real numbers come with their counterpart, and this is known as imaginary numbers. But imaginary numbers you study only when you go to class 11th, and when you study real and imaginary numbers both together, then it is known as complex numbers. So these are all the kind of numbers you will study when you go from 6th standard to the 12th standard. This up till here you have already done, although I will discuss each one in detail, and this you will be doing in the higher class. So this and this total combined will give you complex numbers. Okay, so now let us discuss about natural numbers. Okay, so let us focus on what are natural numbers. Natural numbers you have been doing since class maybe 5th, 4th, 6th, definitely you have done. You have done the properties of natural numbers also. So what are natural numbers? Just a quick brush up of what are natural numbers. Now supposing I ask you to count how many black pens you have. Start counting how many pens you have. So how will you start counting? You will say this is pen number 1, this is pen number 2, this is pen number 3, this is pen number 4, this is pen number 5, and so on. So from where have you started the counting? You have started it from 1. So numbers from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can go on and on and on like counting the stars of the sky. How many? Where will you stop? So we say that which will be the last number. So we say that we go on counting up till infinity. So this sounds pretty simple. What is the natural numbers? Numbers from starting from 1, 2, 3, 4 up to positive infinity, they call it, are known as natural numbers. तो counting numbers जो हमारे होते हैं, they are known as natural numbers. Now the next type of numbers are whole numbers. Now what are whole numbers? Counting numbers you started from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But where is 0? Left out. So if we include 0 in natural numbers were here, and what I do, I include 0 also. 0 also finds its place. Then this entire set of numbers, instead of being called natural numbers, is known as whole numbers. So whole numbers start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and go up till where? They go up till infinity. So you can appreciate that natural numbers will start from 1, 2, 3, 4, and if 0 is included in the set of natural numbers, it becomes what? We call it another name, we give it, and that is known as whole numbers. Now if you remember the number line, if I draw the number line like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, then -1, -2, -3, -4. So from here is what? Natural numbers. Agreed? If I include 0 also, then it can be understood to be whole numbers. Now what about the negatives? 0 has been included here. What about the negatives? So we get another set which are known as integers. And what do we do in integers? We include the negative numbers also. So we were already having 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. up to infinity, and over here what have we done? We have added the negative ones also. And where will this extend to? This will extend to, say, minus infinity. So all the numbers from minus infinity going on to plus infinity, including 0, are known as integers. Okay. Now the next type of number, the next kind of number we will be talking about is the rational number. Natural, whole numbers, integers we have already understood. Now again coming back to the number line, we have already included 0, we have included the negative numbers also, we have included the positive numbers also. But what about the numbers in between, or what we call as fractions? So in integers, if we include fractions, then it gets another name which is known as rational number. So rational number will include of fractions also. Now what is a fraction? Fraction is a number which has two parts. One is known as the denominator, the above one, and the lower one is known as the denominator. This is just a simple brush up for you to understand what you have done in your junior classes. Rational numbers you have already studied in the in the 9th class. So it is a fraction of the form, the upper part is known as the numerator and the lower part is known as the denominator, and this has to be an integer divided by integer, and the necessary condition is where the denominator cannot be equal to 0. So let us try understanding it. So a rational number is a fraction of the form numerator upon denominator, and then the numerator has to be an integer and the denominator also has to be an integer, and the necessary condition is that the denominator should not be equal to 0. Can the numerator be 0? Yes, of course, numerator can be 0. The only restriction is that denominator cannot be equal to 0. Now, if you want me to take some examples, of course, so minus 3 upon minus 7, let us see. Is this a rational number? Yes, it is a rational number. Why? Because it is integer upon integer and the denominator is not equal to 0. So, this is a rational number. Supposing I say take another example, let me say 5 upon 6, rational number? Yes. 0 upon 5, rational number? Yes, because 0 can be there in the numerator. The condition that we have to observe is that it should not be in the denominator. Now, what about 7 upon 0? Let us see. Yes, very true. We cannot have 0 in the denominator. So, this is not a rational number. So, the first thing we have to look in for the rational number is that rational number has to be of the form integer upon integer, where denominator should not be equal to 0. If we see this, we will say that yes, it is a rational number. Now, the second type of rational numbers, it should have a terminating decimal representation. It should have a terminating decimal representation. What does terminating means? Terminating means to end, खत्म हो जाना किसी चीज का. So, the decimal representation should end. I take a very simple example like 3 upon 2. If 3 upon 2 I try to convert into decimal, most of you will be able to do it orally only, but let us try doing it this way. So, 2 ones are 2, you are left with 1, put a decimal, 2 5s are 10. So, when I am expanding it, the remainder is coming out to be 0 and we have a decimal expansion. That means it is a terminating decimal. Whenever we get remainder as 0 and the fraction ends up, so it is known as a terminating decimal. So, this can be written as 1.5. So, yes, this is a rational number. So, the first thing we have to look for is it should be of the form integer upon integer, or a fraction as we say, where denominator should not be equal to 0. And second, if it is a fraction and we convert it into a decimal, it should be terminating decimal. The third condition is if the decimal is not terminating, then it should be at least recurring. What do I mean by recurring? Recur karna, to happen again and again, yeah, to appear again and again. Now, if I ask you whether 20 upon 3 is a rational number or not, so first thing what you will say, yes, it is integer upon integer form and denominator is not equal to 0, so it can be a rational number. Now, what will you do? You will try finding out its decimal expansion. So, decimal expansion ke liye what do? We divide it. Now, when we are dividing it, so 3 6 are 18, you are left with 2, put a decimal, 6 are 18, again 2, then 6 times, and this goes on and on and on. And what do we get here? So, if I write down the decimal representation of this number, so this is not terminating, it is not finishing, the remainder is never coming out to be 0, but what is happening is that the digit is recurring again and again, the same digit is appearing. So sometimes we write it like this also. Okay. So if a fraction has a recurring decimal representation, then also it is known as a rational number. Either one digit can be repeating, or maybe a group of digits is repeating itself again and again. Then it is known as a rational number. The next condition is, you can have many examples of terminating decimals and recurring decimals. That the radicals, now what do you mean by radicals? The under root signs. The radicals should be able to solve, or we should be able to solve the radicals. Means the numbers in the radicals should be perfect squares or perfect cubes, because it is a square root sign I have written over here. So the number should be a perfect square, because we have already done it in junior classes that perfect squares, if I talk about root 4, you will be able to say that it is 2. But if I ask about root 3, so you will say it is 1.732, and it goes on and on and on, neither repeating nor terminating. So this number is known as an irrational number. It is not a rational number. So I hope you have understood what the radicals should be solvable. We can write it over here also, should be solved. Okay, so the number should be a perfect square. If all these things fit in, then it is known as a rational number. It should either be of this form. If it is of this form and we try to find out the decimal, then the decimal should be terminating. If not terminating, it should be recurring, and if it is in the form of radicals, we should be able to solve the radicals. The number should be perfect squares if we are talking about square roots. Is this clear? Now we'll talk about irrational numbers. Okay, so what are rational numbers? We have already discussed. Now their counterpart, irrational numbers. So for an irrational number, the decimal expansion should be non-terminating. Non-terminating means it should not end up. It should go on, and non-recurring also. Means it should not end also, and the numbers should not repeat themselves also. If I talk like root 3, I am taking root 3 because this is one value most of the students at your level remember, because we have been using it many times. So it is 1.732, and it goes on and on like this. If I write a few more digits, it is 0, 5, and it goes on and on and on. So is any pattern being repeated? No. So that means it is non-recurring, not occurring after a definite interval. And will it finish? No. So it is non-terminating. So such numbers whose decimal expansion is non-recurring and non-terminating, neither will it end nor will it repeat its pattern, are known as irrational numbers. And the radical sign, we cannot get rid of the radical sign, like root 23. Can root 23 be simplified by factorization or something? No. So this kind of a number is known as an irrational number. So we have talked about natural numbers. What were natural numbers? Counting numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Whole numbers, if 0 is added to natural numbers, it becomes whole number. Then what next? Integers, negatives also added to the whole numbers, it becomes integers. Then rational numbers, fractions added, and irrational numbers where the decimal expansions are non-terminating and non-recurring. So all these form of numbers, when they are included together, we call it real numbers. And what about complex numbers? Okay, so just an introduction of complex numbers, although they are not included in class 10th level. But now supposing I have two numbers, one is of this form minus 15 whole under root and other is root 15 and minus is outside. You can understand the difference between both of them. If I square both of them, what do I get here? I am squaring this and this also I am squaring. If I ask you to square means what will happen? This number into itself and this number into itself. So this will come out to be minus 15 and this will come out to be 15. So I can say that if on squaring a number we get a negative number, then the number is a complex number, and if on squaring I get a positive result, then the number is a real number. But these details we will talk about when we make videos of the 11th class. Right now at your level in the CBSE syllabus class 10th, this is not required. Okay. So this is all I wanted to introduce about real numbers. Thank you so much for being with me in my class, because once concepts are clear, your doubts will disappear. One thing I would want you to do in the comments is write down what else will disappear if concepts are clear. If concepts in maths are clear, I could think of only doubts, I could think of exam fear, I could think of stress on students. If there are any other things you can please suggest, please do it until we meet next. And next my video will be on exercise 1.1, that is real numbers first exercise. We will talk in detail first about the HCF, LCM, the relation between HCF, LCM and the numbers, and then we will see a few word problems. Hope you enjoyed the class and please be with me in the next class, that is exercise 1.1. Thank you.